visit alliance.mt.
Imiss jidħol fit-tank Keith Mock bl-idea tiegħu li jipproteġi n-negozji kontra l-kriminalità online, is-cybercrime.
Hi Sharks, my name is Keith and my business is Bex Messaging and I'm looking for 15,000 euros in return for 10% equity. So businesses communicate with each other on a daily basis and this is mainly via email due to its ease of use and ease of accessibility as well. However, this email communication is threatened on a daily basis by cyber criminals as well as fraudsters, mainly through business email compromise. So much so that in 2021, businesses lost around $2 billion in the US alone. Imagine after having paid one of your suppliers, you get an email you get a message or you are notified that their account has been compromised and you would have paid one of the fraudsters. This would be detrimental to your business and it can even cripple a small business. Our offering is offering a secure online platform where businesses can communicate with their suppliers, vendors, and even internally via an online secure portal. And at the moment, I'm in discussions with two businesses who might be interested in helping to prove the concept as well in this regard.
Have you quantified the size of the market you're going to be targeting? Because you sort of, is there anything else on the market that's satisfying this need? Is there a market?
So from my research, there are alternatives when it comes to providing email security. However, from what I've seen, the offerings, they are more targeted towards offering email security and based on email communication rather than offering a separate platform dedicated to communicate with other businesses.
You've developed this business already, though? It's fully developed?
So the platform is fully developed, yes. And as I said, at the moment, I'm in discussions with two businesses who might be interested to help test out the platform as well.
How would it work? So I use Outlook, as many people do, and I want to send a message to Mark.
Okay. So mainly this is given that fraudsters target finance payments. This is mainly targeted towards businesses and their finance department, so not the entire organization as such. So for your finance department, you have a user account and you can set up an account for one of your suppliers and you can communicate securely with your supplier via this.
Both ends have to have an account?
So once you are verified on the platform, you can create an account to your supplier.
You're selling your product on a license model, obviously, I would imagine.
Yes.
So once I buy a license, before my finance department sends the email to Mark, I can onboard Mark.
Yes, exactly.
Is this patented?
So in terms of patent, so the development, I paid for the platform and for the development. And as with regards to patent, I am still looking at...
How much have you invested so far?
Around 3,000 euros.
You've invested 3,000 euros in developing a platform,
so the platform
that's going to answer the problems of internet security for companies on emails.
So how did you come up with that valuation of 150,000?
So with regards to the valuation, it's the future, the potential of the platform as well as the onboarding of the customers on a year-to-year basis on the growth.
So let's say you get the 15,000 you get going. What's your projected turnover for the first year?
So with regards to the projected turnover for the first year, we're looking to onboard around 100 clients. And each client, as I mentioned, they can set up their own account with an average. Each client has an average of 5 sub-accounts, so that would be a turnover of around 2,500 euros.
Per client?
Yes.
Steve, what's your job?
I work within compliance.
So this is something you've developed on the side?
Yes.
This is not your full-time job? This is just something you've been working on for how long?
So I've been working around, I've started in June, July of last year.
And there's nothing else out there that's doing what you're doing. You've spent 3,000 euros and you've developed this solution.
So from my research, the offerings that I found are more towards email and protecting email communication rather than offering a separate platform dedicated solely for payment requests, invoice requests.
Isn't that because it's more user-friendly to allow the user to keep using their existing preferred tool to send emails rather than... So for accounts purposes, my financial controller will have to go in the portal, I would imagine, and send payments or payment notifications using the portal.
The issue, tell me how it would work from the example that I'm going to give you. So we had a tenant, okay, that someone from our team sent an email to the tenant telling them that we changed our bank details, okay? And the tenant sends the money to the bank details that were sent on the email. How would it work in that case? Obviously, the money was lost and
so in this case, if you would like to communicate your bank account details with your tenant, you would set up an account for your tenant, so you just send an invite to your tenant, and then the tenant receives notifications and updates.
So every person that has to send you money, you will have to incorporate them onto the platform, correct?
It's for when it comes to tenants and different users, in this case, yes.
Your customers, basically, if it's B2B.
And they would have to download anything themselves, or just...
No, it's in the cloud, it's online based.
Okay.
And they won't have to pay anything, it's just...
The users, no.
Mark.
Yeah, I'm thinking out loud and trying to understand. If you provide this service from a security point of view, how will you manage that?
So from a security point of view, access to the platform, so the initial access will be to verified customers only. So if you approach us and you'd like to set up an account, we will verify you and ensure that you represent the business you are saying you represent. And once you have access, then you can create other accounts for other users who you deal with. And access to the platform is also through multi-factor authentication, and we also monitor traffic and also through the IP address. So if we will have a list of accepted IP addresses, and if someone tries to access it outside of that list, they will not have access to the platform.
So from an operational point of view, it's quite complex.
I wouldn't say complex. It's more that we're shifting the sort of like the security aspect of communication to us. And when it comes to, for example, small businesses who might not have the resources to invest in security, it would be beneficial for them when security is up to us. It's in our hands.
I have to say that it sounds great what you're doing, but a part-timer who spent 3,000 euros on developing an idea that hasn't been patented is not going to be something that I can believe is going to succeed as a business, so I'm out.
Thank you.
From my end, I also, I must say, I'm out for the simple reason that the amount of investment, despite being not so high, but the turnover is quite low, so I'm not seeing any business scalability as we speak. So I'm sorry, but I have to say I'm out.
All right, thank you.
The idea is great. I'm sure that if you work harder on it and I think what you could be an option is partnering up with someone who is more on your line. It would be easier to make it happen.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't find that I can give any help to you in this business, so I'm going to have to call out. Sorry.
Thank you.
I mean, conceptually, I like the idea. However, I'm seeing it as a bit too cumbersome for my lazy fingers. You know, I'm having to have a different portal. You know, I like to do things as quickly as possible, and I know there's an issue with security because the example you mentioned happened to a supplier of ours this year. A supplier of mine, he was supplying me with flooring, and he sent the payment to someone had done some fishing expedition on them, and they sent the payment to the wrong supplier. So, because of that reason, because of the fact that I'm seeing it as a bit too, convoluted, I'll have to decline the investment.
Thank you.
I think it's a good idea. I think that businesses, given that there's so much hacking, and I think they're going to need it, but I don't see how I can add any value to the business. I'm sorry, I'm out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, Pete.
Thank you.
Iva, prodotti li huma mirati li jintużaw minn negozji, wieħed irid jifhem sew kif bħalissa n-negozju jopera, x'tip ta' sistemi jintużaw, x'inhuma l-habits, x'inhuma d-drawwiet, x'nużaw biex nagħmlu ċertu transazzjonijiet, x'nużaw biex nikkorrispondu, u prodotti ġodda jridu jintegraw u jibnu fuq dak li diġà jeżisti fis-suq tan-negozji. Illa li dak li jkun jibda jara inkonvenjent, jew irid jerġa' jgħallem, jew irid iħallas liċenzja oħra, jew li hu ser ikollu jagħmel spejjesu biex jara li jkun hemm integrazzjoni bejn il-prodotti u servizzi li jintużaw ta' kuljum fin-negozju. So dak joħloq inkonvenjent illi inti trid tippjana lih. So again, we go back to il-business model. So x'inhu ma dawk l-strategic choices, x'inhu ma dawk ix-xenarji li nagħmlu fil-bidu biex naraw illi il-konsum u l-użu tal-prodotti tagħna kemm jista' jkun aħna nagħmluha b'mod faċli.
I know 3,000 euros don't solve problems normally, especially in an area like security. But imagine what the joke would be on him if he actually has a product that does.
I know.
You know?
It'd be amazing. I was sat there thinking, this is the one.
Because I saw your point, how can you solve the problem? But I can imagine my financial controller, she's always overstressed, having to log in on a portal, and...
X'taħseb li mar ħażin f'dik il-pitch?
Naħseb li mar ħażin iktar għax huma jraw li forsi trid teqleb minn fuq channel ieħor apparti email meta jikkomunikaw ma' businesses oħrajn jraw li forsi hija daqsxejn tedjanti bħala servizz. Għaldaqstant ħanara kif nista' ntejjeb il-prodott biex ikun jew inqas tedjanti jew anke nipprova nbiegħu daqsxejn bħala nsemmi l-benefiċċji tiegħu ukoll.